sun beat down on the rusted metal wasteland when the Pendragon gang rode into town. Arthur was the brains of the outfit, with Guinevere's pistol and Lancelot's rifle following where he led. And here he led them to Camelot, a two-cylinder town run by Lavinia Stone, as corrupt and cruel a sheriff as you could ever hope to meet. She knew why they'd come. They wanted her town. Avengers or conquerors, who's to say? She spat a stream of tobacco that sizzled on the scorching steel floor. Any sumbitch can pull this tin star from my stone-cold hands. Makes him right-wise sheriff of this here town. The Pendragons nodded and took their positions on Main Street. The other end stood the family Stone, leering and cradling their guns. Arthur's hand hovered over his Clarence 10-caliber railgun, an ancient weapon he'd taken off a bandit tried to bushwhack him in one of the flooded sectors. The sun flickered and brightened, casting shadows from the rundown saloon behind them, as the clock tower began to ring noon.
I'm Guinevere, fastest draw, my hand is fate, my word is law, and you will fear me. Call yourself a true gunslinger, see who has the quickest finger. Draw your gun.
I'm Lancelot, the sharpest aim, don't try to play me at this game, you're doomed to failure. You gave in to base corruption, brought about your own destruction. Draw your gun. I'm on the right from this town and drive you out and run you down. Your reign is over. Sheriff's done your death as soon as time is up the ground. Draw your gun. Draw. Guinevere is quickest. Her shots are clean and sure. And Ezra and Ezekiel lie bloodied on the floor. She fans out 4 more chambers, and Jezebel goes down. With a new quartet of holes punched through the flesh around her brow. Nathaniel stands the tallest and the meanest of Stone's clan, until 3 shots from Lancelot leave him dead atop the rusted sand. Ruth and Nicodemus, Mordecai and Obadiah will take a hard-bound rifle shell as he blows through them with fatal fire. Finally, there's Arthur, stares down Sheriff Stone. He draws and fires and leaves her kneeling, coughing blood and bits of bone. Do it, you piece of shit. The cruel sheriff and her kin were dead, their bodies tossed to a nun, the lightless depths of the outer station where the ghouls lurked and feasted on corpse meat. And with her death, settlers came from the far reaches of the steel sky to live and work, for Camelot was one of the few places still plugged into the water supply. Food was brought from farms on the hydroponics levels, and a seemingly never-ending stream of do-gooders with guns came riding into town, offering protection against the bandits that roamed the vast inner wastes. The Pendragons took these lost, violent souls and gave them a purpose. Sat around the huge steel table that had been the town hall since before the oldest could remember. And when Camelot was safe and prosperous, Arthur sent his youngest hand, a hot-headed kid named Gawain, to go to his people and lead them to their new home. Among them, Arthur's daughter, Morgause. The ground became sky with no horizon in the vast inner level. But it was still 100 miles by the shortest route to Camelot when they set out, clad in dust masks and goggles, over sandy dunes of rust. When Gawain returned with a posse of Arthur's knights, they found the caravan dead. Whether by the heat or by vengeful knives, the half-eaten state of them spoke for the culprits, a ghoul raiding party. And on that day, Gawain conceived a monstrous hate. No one noticed, however, that Arthur's child was not among the slain, for the ghouls had taken pity on the helpless young Morgause and taken her with them. From that day, she lived among them, the ghouls who called themselves Saxons after the Sayax knives they carried. And so the years passed, and the girl Morgause grew into a sharp young man who chose his name as Mordred. When he was full grown, Mordred left his adopted parents to seek more of where he came from. He travelled to Camelot, and there became trusted of the Pendragons. Mordred knew Arthur for his father, but alas, the aging gunfighter did not recognize his son. And so the time passed, and the heat grew. Aside from the great round table in the town hall and the fierce-looking seat at its helm, there was one other thing that had been in Camelot since before the oldest could remember. The Hanged Man. Wrought in copper and wire, none could say why it had first been hung from the gallows, but it had always been there. The name carved into its chest was read by the townsfolk as Merlin, though time and rust had long since worn away what it had originally read, which is Brian. No one paid Merlin any mind, until one day it began to speak. It spoke to Gawain, it spoke to Arthur, and it spoke to a wandering preacher man by the name